Now then, here's a fascinating story. Settling your differences with a good old sing-song. That's the premise of a programme on Sky 1 at 5 o'clock tonight called Sing Your Heart Out. Now, the story goes like this. There were two families in Oswestry. They were connected in love, a bit like Romeo and Juliet. But the two families couldn't stand the sight of each other. They didn't get on at all. So how do you solve this sort of problem? Well, the answer seems to be you call in Dr. Anthony Wade, a music therapist known as Dr. Voice. He was brought in to try to get them to settle their differences and bring the Guile family and the Camp family together through music therapy. Well, I've been to see Carol Guile and one of her sons, Oliver, and Carol explained what the initial problem was.
The problem was two families that were completely different in every way, in the way we were brought up, the way the families do things, and, the family works, the whole family group. Our family units were completely different, either ends of the scale, really. And I think that we just got caught up in our differences and ended up we couldn't see the wood for the trees, and it was just causing big problems, and we couldn't see our way through it, so we started sort of arguing and disagreeing and then staying away from each other, and we just couldn't get it to work.
So why are these two families together in the first place, where you could just walk away from each other and never see each other again?
Well, Adam and Sam fell in love.
So Adam's your son, Sam is their daughter?
That's correct,
right,
yes.
Okay.
And they were good together, we could see that. I never once doubted their relationship or didn't want them to be together. But we just couldn't get on. I felt that I tried to do my best to help, but it wasn't always helpful or helpfully, interpreted in the right way. So, it just continued to cause great difficulties. And my big problem was that Adam was in the middle of it, because he had, the one side of the family with Sam, who he loved, and then he had our side of the family to deal with, and he was right in the middle, which I really felt for him, and that was...
How did the telly get involved?
Sam replied to something online that she saw, just asking if anybody out there had problems that we had, really, and she replied saying, yes, help, basically, and got emailing, I think, and they obviously were interested because it was a very genuine story and we genuinely wanted help.
And what was your first reaction?
Surprise, really, because these opportunities I don't come up.
You saw it as an opportunity then?
Yes, I think I did.
You didn't immediately say, not on your life?
No, not at all, not once. Not at the beginning, not any way through it, no. Other people said, you're mad, and I said, no, I'm desperate. And I was.
Oliver's one of your lads, he's here. How did you feel about it?
I was a bit unsure at first, because I don't like singing at all. And if it weren't for the singing, I would have said yes straight away, but I had to think about it first, because of the singing side of it, rather than the family side of it.
What's the singing bit then?
It was something different. It was that we would have the personal coaching, and then that we would all work together and learn to sing, because Dr. Voice was a voice coach, and that he would take us through learning to sing together as a whole family.
As two families?
Two families joining
Singing together?
Singing together with a performance at the end. So something to work towards. And I think that was what was amazing about it, because the hard work was in the psychological side and the getting over all our hurdles. But when we came together to sing, we had a giggle and we were all working together on something and working to an end, performance, really. So the two together were incredible, really.
Well, that's Carol Guile. More on the reconciliation of the Guile and the Camp families a little bit later on the Breakfast Show today. And you'll be able to hear from the one and only Dr. Voice as well. BBC Swift.
Hi, Andy Swift here. This summer I'll be looking after...
Fun.
Who'd have thought that you'd have been singing Shine on the telly?
I don't think anyone would. I'm not the type of person to sing, really.
So it's changed the dynamics of the two families now?
Totally. But naturally. Nothing is forced, which is what and a year on, we still have that something very special, a bond now.
This Doc's a miracle worker then, is he?
Well, he is, and I think that's what's motivating me to do this and anything else. I'll talk to anybody, because I just think there's other families out there that could benefit from this, even whether it's through TV. Not everyone gets this opportunity that we've had, and it would be lovely if we could share it and other families could get what we've got out of it, and the Doc can do that.
Well, let's hear from the doc now then. He is Dr. Anthony Wade. Morning, Doc.
Good morning.
How difficult was it at times with the relationships between these two families?
Well, my hair was a bit darker. It's a bit greyer now. I mean, deep down inside every human being, there's a love. And there was a love inside all of them that they wanted to share, but they couldn't. They didn't know how to. The differences was too great. The scepticism and the, if you like, the familiarity that breeds contempt in families. Because if you find, you will find, if there's going to be any argument on the planet, it's going to be in a family. Mostly families argue. Most families all over the world argue. You don't argue so much at work, you don't argue so much outside of the family situation. When you're home, your son or you don't, oh, I don't believe you, you know, there's always this discontent or arguments that go on. There were the Camps and the girls, they didn't even want to come together at all. They didn't want to share. They found that being at a distance was the only way to get on and not to communicate. And of course, this wasn't going to bring the marriage together, and this wasn't going to bring happiness between the two families. So it was difficult to begin with. It was very hard. But as we started to get to know the personalities, as I started to understand each person and their needs throughout the show over a 3-week period, 13 hours a day filming, I started to see, hang on, these people will do this if they just did this and if they just pulled this out.
I bet you were all exhausted, weren't you?
Yes. I mean, the last day, I will tell you now, on the last day of filming, there was a time where we're on the last day, ready to film the big reveal where they get up and sing. And all of a sudden, they just, one of them, Sam, didn't want to do it. And then Debbie didn't want to do it, and Carol didn't want to do it. And I thought, oh my God, and the Sky said, well, there's no program. If one of them doesn't do it, there's no program. And then I found that I had to take them in a room and get them all together. And I gave this talk about, look, you cannot be selfish anymore as human beings. You're just about to go on national television, and Debbie, someone will be watching you at home and think, oh, that's me. And millions of people will be watching this and go, oh, that's me. And they'll be relating to you and your story, and you will touch their heart like Rocky. And you would inspire a positive difference to probably millions of people and not even realise you're doing it. Now, when are you going to ever have the chance to do that in this lifetime? In your job? At home? Not just your family are you going to bring together, you're going to touch and inspire millions of people potentially. How dare you be so selfish, all of you? How dare you? Now, are you behind me? Are you going to do this? And when they felt that and saw that, and of course the dedication and work we put into it up to that point, they knew they couldn't throw that away, and felt, well, come on, let's go with the doc. So we got them going, yes, getting feeling it. And you'll see this towards the end of the programme today, you'll see them going, yes. You see me just shouting, yes, but you don't see the big talk I gave them. and then, of course, you see them go out and go on stage and sing their hearts out. It's incredible. And they sang from their souls. It was wonderful.
Apart from when it nearly fell apart on the last day, were you confident that it would succeed as you went along then?
Didn't have a damn clue. Deep down inside, you put all the processes together, all the knowledge and experience I've got of human beings, because I do what you call an immersion day, where I take a person, a chairman of a company, he would come to me, and the voice he comes in the studio with me is not the voice he leads with. He's totally different, totally changed, and that changes your life. You see, this is all about changing your voice. You change your voice, you will change your life. And I felt the way to change a family would get them to sing and to use their voices on a deeper level, because the larynx is a very close part of who we are. 33% of our body functions is our larynx. And so if we can vibrate that at a different frequency in harmony with each other, this will help you bring a difference and a different rapport with each other. And you will see something different in each other, which is exactly what this family did. I believed that for years, but I didn't know it would work with the family.
How did you feel at the end of it all?
I was just about to say that. Absolutely knackered. I mean, when it ended, when the show ended, everybody's drinking and cheering, and I'm in the car. And the taxi, I can't wait to get in the taxi because I'm so exhausted. And as I get in the taxi, all the family around the taxi waving, and about probably about 100 people come out onto the street all shouting, "Dot rocks, Dot rocks," as the car went over the brow of the hill. And I couldn't give a damn whether Dot rocked or not. I just want to get home and put my feet up.
You must have been incredibly proud and satisfied then with a job well done.
Not for 3 days, till 3 days after. I was absolutely exhausted. I slept for 3 days. I didn't even know who I was for 3 days. It was that heavy work. It was heavy work. At points, someone wanted to run off and threaten suicide, and someone wanted to beat someone up. There's all sorts of things were going on within the battles of making the program. Even the film crew, the cameraman wanted to walk away at one point. He couldn't stand it. The director I had to sit down and share a little bit of energy with as well, to try and get focused, because it looked like we were losing the show. Every day we were nearly losing the show. So, no, so-and-so don't want to do it now. And we work and work and work. No, so-and-so's opted out now. No, so-and-so's husband won't let her come in now. And it was a bit difficult in that sense. But, yeah, to think that they... What got me was 9 months later when I went and saw them recently, 2 months ago, for a photo shoot, because America looks like they want to do a series. So that's what I was told by Love Productions, potentially. So I went up and had a photo shoot with them, and I couldn't get them to do a before and after photo, meaning I couldn't get them to look miserable. They were so happy. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
That's the gist I got from Carol as well. Doc, it's great to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time this morning, and well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Bye. Anthony Wade. You can see Sing Your Heart Out. Before we leave these families behind in Oswestry there, you've got to hear from Carol Guile now. Remember, the Guile family and the Camp family didn't like each other at all. And Sam and Adam fell in love, right? The two of them, one on either side of the family, fell in love. So the two of them have got to get on, but they just didn't get on. So music therapist Dr. Anthony Wade was brought in, and he got them singing in the end. He got them singing together, and now they get on so well. So one final word from Carol Guile about the effects of the song they sang together.
The song now has changed my perception of the other side of the family. When I hear it anywhere coming on, and even the dun 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 dun, I get a really warm feeling. I get a big smile on my face, and instead of seeing aggressive faces from the other side of the family, I now see them all smiling, and I hear us all singing, and yes, a great warm happy feeling.
That was the song that brought the two families together in the end, with a public performance of Shine by Take That for the Guile family and the Camp family, and we wish them well for the future. You can see all of that on Sky One HD tonight. It's called Sing Your Heart Out. It's 5 o'clock tonight on Sky One HD. 9:10, BBC Radio Shropshire. Tomorrow morning from 6, Mike George brought the two families together in the end with a public performance of Shine by Take That for the Guile family and the Camp family, and we wish them well for the future. You can see all of that on Sky One HD tonight. It's called Sing Your Heart Out. It's 5 o'clock tonight on Sky One HD. 9:10.
Isn't that such a lovely story?
It's great, isn't it?
Romeo and Juliet without the violence.
Yes, wonderful, isn't it?
Hey, that makes me feel all warm inside.
They didn't like each other at all. They did not get on.
No. Wow, it's a cracking story.